So you've just landed at London Heathrow and want to get to the city. You could take a taxi, but that costs anywhere from 70 to 100 British pounds. Unless you could expense that, I'd pass. There's the good old Piccadilly line that costs £3.50 to £5.50. Unfortunately, it's very slow, taking 50 minutes to reach central London. Until recently, the only other option was the Heathrow Express to Paddington, that takes only 15 minutes. But now there's the brand new Elizabeth line that costs half as much and is only slightly slower. Which should you take? Well, it's actually more complicated than you think. Let's see why. Tickets for the Heathrow Express can and should be bought ahead of time. If you book early enough, they can be as cheap as £5.50, the same as the slowest tube. But closer to departure, as well as day of, it's £25 one way. That's quite expensive for a 15-minute train ride. The train itself has something called business first class, but I struggle to see how that's worth it. It includes a newspaper. Yay! Standard express class is absolutely fine, with luggage storage, decent seating, power, and Wi-Fi. The trip itself was very quick with no stops, as you hurtle past the other tube stations and other trains. The train pulls into Paddington, where you have to disembark. From there, there's multiple tube lines you can transfer to, though it's a bit awkward with your luggage. What about the Elizabeth line? Well, I know it's silly to get excited about a subway, but it's quite simply awesome. The older tube lines like the Central and Jubilee are quite old and lack air conditioning. The Elizabeth line has a beautiful new train, with air conditioning and even Wi-Fi. And with fewer stops, you can cross central London much faster. To and from Heathrow, they run every 15 minutes, though only every 30 in the morning, and of course I just missed one, so I waited. The Elizabeth line costs between £10.70 and £12.70 to Paddington, and there's a daily cap of £14.10 per day if you go any further, and you don't even need to buy a ticket. Like the other tube lines, you just tap to pay with a contactless credit card. I boarded as the train was being cleaned. Again, I just want to admire how nice the interior is. Right on time, we left Terminal 5 before stopping at Terminals 1 through 3. A ticketer inspector asked for my ticket, but I used tap to pay on my card, so that's a bit hard to enforce. The train takes 35 minutes to Paddington rather than 15 on the Heathrow Express. Unfortunately, I arrived prior to November 6th, 2022, so I had to get out at Paddington above ground like all the other trains. To continue on the Elizabeth line, you needed to get out at Paddington, walk a bit further than you would have from the Heathrow Express before descending to the main Elizabeth line station. This will also happen on some early morning trains, which this was. So right now, the fastest way to get to Paddington is to take the Heathrow Express. The fastest way to get further into London is to take the Heathrow Express to Paddington, then change to the Elizabeth line. But as of now, as long as you want to go to Abbey Wood, the line will continue through central London without the need for a change. Trains towards Shenfield will begin directly in early 2023. Let's look at an example. Two adults are staying near Liverpool Street Station. They didn't buy tickets ahead of time. If they take the Heathrow Express, that's £50. They then get out, transfer to the Elizabeth line, and pay £2.50 each to get to Liverpool Street Station. Total cost is £55. By contrast, on the Elizabeth line, they can only pay £25.40 and go straight to Liverpool Street Station. And without a connection, perhaps it's only 10 to 15 minutes slower, and without the hassle. So in conclusion, the Heathrow Express is and will be the fastest way to Paddington. If you buy tickets early enough, it might even be cheaper. But if you are going anywhere else on the Elizabeth line in central London, and chances are you will be, I really recommend taking that. Yes, it's 20 minutes slower, but not having to transmit luggage is worth a few extra minutes in an air-conditioned train car with free Wi-Fi. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click that button and please subscribe for my more traditional flight reviews as well as some occasional travel videos like this. I'll see you next time for the fastest train in the UK, which surprisingly is actually just a regional train.